My father was born in Tennessee, or more specifically, he was born here, in Chattanooga. Growing up, he spent a lot of time by himself. Whether that was by choice or not, he never really said. However, the friends he did have were loyal and big-hearted, and loved many of the same things he did. He went through phases of attempted athleticism, because as a young man, that's where he had been told his interests ought to lie. He tried baseball, and they stuck him deep into right field. He was a loyal teammate, but not a particularly inspired athlete. But often he would just sit in his room. It was his own private world. He would listen to records by REM and play his Sega Genesis and read big books, but rarely finish them. He was very smart, but wasn't a show-off. People liked that about him. And he was a storyteller. He told tales about people he knew. He often exaggerated the details to great and commanding effect, even if he was sometimes careless with the parties involved. He saw his life as an ongoing story, and himself as a character in it, everything written in real time, and the ending unknown. And he would explore his small town by foot. Even after he was old enough to drive, he rarely did, preferring to walk. He once told me that was the only way to get to really know a place. He observed more than most, but talked much less. In time, he would grow up and meet Mom. And then, a little bit later, they met me. We had 5 amazing years together before she passed. I wish I could remember that time a little bit better. Dad said he never really felt like an adult. Said he kind of just felt like a big kid most of the time. To me, he sometimes felt like a father, and sometimes like a big playmate. He was great at both. He passed last year. But not before meeting his granddaughter and having 5 wonderful years with her. When they played, I could see that kid in him, even in those later years. I still saw that same preciousness, that same lust for life, that same curiosity. Those qualities became dull in some people over time, but they never did with him. It's a year later, and now it's just me and my daughter. She's a good kid, kind, and really smart. Whenever she gets a good report card, I take her to the diner down the road for chocolate milkshakes. When I tell her to get in the car, she always refuses. She prefers to walk.